What's up guys, Aaronius here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing to you at least 3 teams that can complete Spider 20 in less than 13 seconds. So let's get into it really quickly. And of course I do want to let you know that obviously these teams are more late game. They're not for like beginners. You have to have specific champions for this and specific builds. So it's not going to be for everybody, but yeah, let's get into it. So right now we're doing Spider 20, Stage 20. It is Spirit Affinity, so we know that the champions that are going to be positive affinity against Spirit are magic. So having magic champions are going to be very helpful. Having void champions are great because they're kind of neutral to all affinities. And right now we do have the 2x super raids going on right now for Spider, so make sure you are going into the highest stage possible and trying to farm as high up as possible on Spider so you can get those maximum amount of rewards, especially legendary rewards, because you do want to make sure you're getting silver and the highest amount of rewards possible for your team, right? So let's get into this. We've got 3 teams set up right now. The first one is the one that I have that's in here, and I use this one mostly, but I might end up switching over to this one, but it really depends on the RNG of the run to get 12 seconds. This one I think was the most consistent 12-second run for me, but all 3 of these teams do 12-second runs. So on this first team at the top here, we've got Royal Guard. I do have them awakened, and I do have an awakened Coldheart, although you don't need to have them awakened in order to do this. You just have to have the right gear. So I've got Royal Guard in the lead. I've got Fane, who's amazing, by the way. You can use other champions as well, like Bellinor, but it's a legendary void champion. Most people don't have him. You can also use a champion like Spider, but he has like a 75% chance of landing the weekend rather than 100%, along with the decreased defense. So I just recommend going with Fane if you have her, because she is neutral affinity to the Spirit. And then of course I have 2 Coldhearts, so not a lot of you out there are going to have 2 Coldhearts. I totally get that. But if you have 2 Royal Guards, you could sub them in for one of the Coldhearts, and honestly, just having 2 Royal Guards maxed out, you could probably do it with 4 champions instead of these 3 here. So Royal Guards do much more damage than Coldheart. So if you take out these 2 Coldhearts, throw in 2 Royal Guards, you could probably do this with just 4 champions. So I don't have my second Royal Guard built out yet, so I can't show you that, but I would if I could. So we're going to take this one in. Gerbtug, of course, you guys may or may not know this already, but Gerbtug does have a passive ability. And with Gerbtug, let me just showcase him for you really quickly. He has a passive, so any allies under poison debuff will inflict 7.5% more damage for each poison, and it stacks up to 30%. It also increases ally resistance by 15 for each poison on them as well, which is pretty cool. So consider using this guy. He's pretty good in certain niche situations, especially if you want to get as much damage out as possible. And then of course you have Bad Alcazar, which many of you guys know this already, and his passive is allies inflict 20% more damage against targets under poison debuffs. So with Bad El, he's placing poisons on the enemies, and with Gerbtug, he's placing poisons on our own team in order to get more damage. So we're going to try this team first. We're just going to full auto it. Let's do it. Boom. Okay. And of course we got an extra turn. My Fane is in a Relentless set. I don't recommend you to put her in a Relentless set if you don't need to do it. 14 seconds. Of course it is a 12-second run. And if for some reason she gets a Relentless proc, then it goes into a longer time span. So I don't recommend putting Fane if you're just trying to go for as much speed as possible. I don't recommend putting her in a Relentless set, but I do have my Fane in a Relentless set, and she's on my Clan Boss team, and that's why I did that. So yeah, so let me go ahead and take it off Super Raids. I'll showcase it one more time for you guys, and that it is a 12-second run, just as long as she doesn't get an extra turn. So there's no extra turn that time around. So let's see what happens. He's going to place the poisons on ourselves. Boom, 2.1 million, 1.5 million, boom, 3.1 million. Royal Guards, a monster. 12-second run. And we got resistance with speed and HP. It's okay, I don't really have many resistance for my undead hordes. So there's that. Now, we're going to go on to the next stage with the next set of champions. Alright, so now we have the second team here. So we've got Royal Guard in the lead again because it's the ally attack in all dungeons by 35%, which is super helpful. And we're just going to go right into it. Here we go. So we're going to have Battle end up going first. He's a little bit faster than Fane. Fane's going to go, boom, the weekend. 1 to 2 million, 1.5, and 2.3 million. There you go, another one with 12 seconds. That's the second team. So there you are. Fane doesn't really do the damage. She's just there to place those decreased defensive weaken on the boss. Alright, so here's the last team. And in this one's just based on HP burn. Ignatius can easily be replaced with Mordecai. You do not need Ignatius on this team. You just need Mordecai. Now the reason why I do this is because if, God forbid, Fane doesn't land the decreased defense and weaken, the HP burns can help kill the boss, and it's not 100%. None of these teams are 100%, right? Because you have a 3% chance of the boss resisting the decreased defense and or weaken, or both of them at the same time. So it's important to note that no matter what team you have, you could have a 3% chance of not landing debuffs, and that's the only reason why we would lose this battle, which we haven't lost yet. So let's take this one in, and this is going to be, typically this one's a little bit slower, but let's see what happens. I prefer to go with the 12-second runs because it's a lot more consistent and faster. Boom, there we go. Then Ignatius is going to go second because those 2 spiders that drop down, we want to make sure that we get those HP burns on them as well. And then boom, that last tick of HP burn allowed us to kill the spider. That last tick of HP burn allowed us to kill the Spider Queen. So there you are. We got attack with speed, which is okay. No additional attack for the substats, but yeah, what do you guys think of the 12-second runs? There are other teams out there. If you guys want me to showcase more teams that can beat the spider in like under 30 seconds, please leave it in the comments down below, and I'm happy to share additional teams for you. Also, in order to get a 12-second run on your team, you want to make sure that you are playing on a computer where you can set your FPS to unlimited frames. So if you want to do that, you want to go here onto your character, then you need to go to options, and then you need to set your frame rate to unlimited. So that's all you do to do that, and you'll get 12-second runs with those teams. If not, then you'll end up getting 13 or 14-second runs, which is still super fast. I mean, 1 to 2 seconds is very negligible, so it's not a huge deal if you don't get 12 seconds. Also, if you could take a moment to subscribe to the channel, subscribing to the channel is going to be fantastic for me, so please subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.